So the Super Bowl is not for about another 2 weeks. And well, just real quick, guys, I don't know if you heard, but the Chiefs will be in that Super Bowl. So mark your calendars. But the Super Bowl is not for a couple of weeks yet. So I figured we had some time to do some non game specific work. And we have quite the ride to go on for this one. I have 3 different sources, and I think it will be worth it at the end. Um, Real quick from the Twitter/X of Front Office Sports at FOS, Chiefs Bills averaged 57.4 million viewers on CBS. It's the most watched AFC Championship game ever. I have seen quite a few people, and look, irony is hard to read on Twitter/X. I have seen quite a few comments on videos, quite a few comments on articles online questioning whether or not the Kansas City Chiefs are really that popular. Look how popular the Kansas City Chiefs are. The Kansas City Chiefs have one of the largest fan bases in the entire nation. Guys, I'm here to tell you, I don't think that's the case. A small market team from flyover country, but let's set the table here. In an article titled Chiefs Dramatic Win Over Bills Sets AFC Championship Record for TV Viewership with this huge number. There were a lot of people watching Sunday's game between the Bills and the Chiefs from CBS Sports by John Breach. If you were watching the AFC Championship game on CBS over the weekend, then give yourself a pat on the back because you were part of television history. Don't give yourself a pat on the back. It was one of the most common things anyone has done or anyone had done on Sunday. So 57.4 million, you're not exactly an elite company there. There's no reason to pat yourself on the back. This self-congratulatory culture that we're in is just too much sometimes. The game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills had averaged an audience of 57.4 million, according to the Sports Business Journal, making it the most watched AFC title game in NFL history. The Chiefs' dramatic 32-29 victory over the Bills, was it that dramatic? Broke a viewership record that was set last year when 55.5 million people watched the Chiefs beat the Ravens. Last year's game broke a record that had stood since January 2011, when an average of 54.85 million tuned in to watch the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the New York Jets 24-19. Pittsburgh, I don't know how big it is. I think it is slightly larger than Kansas City. New York, certainly larger than Kansas City. Baltimore, by the way, larger than Kansas City as well. At least I believe. So those numbers, Buffalo, I think it's comparable to Kansas City, but it's in New York. So you're talking about larger market teams than the Kansas City Chiefs. The game between the Chiefs and the Bills was also the second most watched non-Super Bowl in NFL history via Puck News, trailing only the 2009 NFC Championship game between the Vikings and the Saints that New Orleans won in overtime 31-28. Talk about referees. The matchup in Kansas City had all the making of a TV hit. It was a high-profile showdown. The game featured 2-star quarterbacks, not 2-star, 2-space-star. We're not talking about recruiting. 2-star quarterbacks in Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Though 2 stars, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen were. Patrick Mahomes was a 3-star, I'm pretty sure, and I don't know if Josh Allen had any stars. It was close until the end. The game was close for all 4 quarters, which kept viewers glued to their seat. The Chiefs were leading by just 3 points with 3:33 left to play when the Bills got the ball with the chance to win. But Buffalo's potential game-winning drive came up short when Dalton Kincaid dropped a 4th down pass from Josh Allen. It's a little bit rough to say dropped that pass. I don't think I would count that as a drop if I were a stat keeper. There were stars off the field. Taylor Swift hasn't missed a playoff game yet, and she was there yet again on Sunday to support Travis Kelce. the numbers for the NFC Championship game weren't quite as high. According to the SBJ, the Eagles' 55-23 win over the Commanders drew 44.2 million. And although that's an impressive number, there's no need to put congratulations on the second place prize here. It was still the lowest number for an NFC Championship game since 2019. The Chiefs have turned into a huge draw with Patrick Mahomes, and you just have to look at the viewership numbers for proof. Guys, I don't think that's all it is. Not only do they have the most watched AFC title game in history, but the most watched Super Bowl in TV history came last year on CBS when the Chiefs beat the 49ers 25-22 in overtime. That was also the most watched telecast on a single network in TV history with 123.4 million viewers. With the Chiefs looking to make NFL history this year by becoming the first team to ever win 3 Super Bowls in a row, there's a chance they could draw a big number in the big game once again. The Chiefs and Eagles will be kicking off on February 9th from New Orleans in Super Bowl licks. So, this article is more or less just stating the numbers. This was an incredibly highly viewed game. Lots of people tuned in. Isn't that impressive? It does, the article, venture to mention a few things that may have contributed to this. The star power on the field, etc. Notably absent from those speculations were obviously market size. Had this been the Cowboys versus the Jets in a Super Bowl, there's going to be tons of numbers simply because of where those teams are and the fan base sizes that they have. But here's an interesting article, I believe, from last year. The final article we'll look at is absolutely from last year. It's from January last year. I believe this article is from around that same time. Counting down the top 10 most popular NFL teams by Alan Vardy Stacker from the Sacramento Bee. The article starts off with this: the NFL isn't just about football games, it's a cultural powerhouse in the United States. With millions of fans across the country and beyond, it's no wonder the league dominates sports headlines year-round. But what really grabs people's attention is the battle for popularity among the teams. I don't think that's true. Fans show their loyalty not only by filling stadiums, but also by filling their favorite teams' social media platforms like Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. So, which is the most popular NFL team? In this blog, Way.com explores which teams have captured the nation's hearts and might answer the question, who's the most popular team right now? The number 5 answer on this list was the Kansas City Chiefs, touting 4.3 million Instagram followers, 4.9 million TikTok followers. I figured they'd be bigger on TikTok with the whole Travis Kelce thing. 2.8 million Facebook followers and 2.6 million X followers, giving them a total social media follower count of 14.6 million followers. Not exactly exact science, but, it is a measurement for sure. The Kansas City Chiefs have had quite a ride. They actually started out as the Dallas Texans back in the 60s, but in 1963, Lamar Hunt decided to move the team to Kansas City and gave them a new name. The Chiefs were on fire in the AFL, winning 3 championships and taking home their first Super Bowl trophy in 1970. Fast forward to 2017, when they drafted Patrick Mahomes, and things really took off. Everything that happened between 1970 and 2017 being summarized as fast forward hurts my soul, because we know the depths to which the Kansas City Chiefs had fallen on many occasions. They've since added 3 more Super Bowl titles, most recently in 2024. Also worth noting is Arrowhead Stadium, where the fans were so loud they set a record for the loudest crowd noise. If you're going to a game, definitely pack some earplugs. So, okay, not not the most exact answer here for popularity, placing the Kansas City Chiefs at 5th. So, not precisely a football argument either, right? This is sort of a general interest kind of stabbing at what is going on with popularity in the NFL. But being the 5th most popular team would not curtail two of the most watched games in NFL history, and the two most watched games categorically, AFC Championship Game and Super Bowl, as well as the most watched game in that Super Bowl versus the 49ers. So, what is going on here? Guys, I'm going to give you the answer as to what is going on here. This is an article from last January. Keep that in mind as we talk about what is going on in this article. Chiefs surpass Cowboys as most hated team in the NFL by Tiffany Weismer from Fox21News.com. The Kansas City Chiefs are now the most hated team in the NFL, according to data provided by BetOnline. Using software that tracks trends on X, formerly Twitter, the team at BetOnline has created a graph to show, and prepare yourselves for this, has created a graph to show which teams received the most negative comments over the last 90 days. The posts considered might say some things like, "I hate the Chiefs," or S blank, 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 blank the Cowboys. Now, guys, I know a lot of words. I think, all of the curse words. I have no idea what 5-letter S word they might be saying here. So if you know, probably don't leave it in the comments because YouTube might kick you off. Maybe hit me up on Twitter at ScramblingThee, because I have no idea what 5-letter S word could be employed there, or other more elaborate insults. The poll includes over 120,000 tweets. Now, 120,000 tweets, I can tell you right now, any given Sunday, I can find 120,000 tweets from the team that the Kansas City Chiefs are facing's fan base that would be negative right there. Why this is such a small number, maybe due to constraints of their softwares, etc. But 120,000 tweets is nothing when it comes to NFL fan base hate. However, here's the Chiefs. Guys, there's the line for the Cowboys. This has to be an extra 10%. Now, there are numbers. I guess I missed that. You're looking at probably 10,500. 10,500 here versus the Cowboys, who are probably in the 8,000 range. Third is the Eagles. Third is the Eagles. Fourth is the Ravens. The Patriots are 5th. It's amazing what sins a few years of absolutely sucking at football can wash away, right? The Patriots are 5th. This was the preeminent team in hate for 20, probably 15 of those 20 years. The Chiefs, let's see. So here's the 5,000 marker. You have the Packers and the Jets around the 5,000 marker. You have the Chiefs over 10,000. So everybody from 5, 6, 7 down, the Chiefs receive twice as much hate. And then at the lowly bottom here, you have the Jaguars and the Colts. No one hates the Jaguars or the Colts. How could you? How could you? Here's one of the reasons I really don't believe this. I don't know anyone who says anything good about the Bengals ever. Even delusional Bengals fans seem to curse out the Bengals most of the time on X. So there's that. Here's the graph. I just wanted to show it, but we're getting back to the point here. According to the poll, the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl of negative sentiment, even surpassing the perennially hated Cowboys to secure their new title. Sports analysts are speculating about the possible reasons behind the increasing waves of ire from sports fans towards Kansas City. First, the team has appeared in 6 straight AFC Championship games, now 7. and they have been in the Super Bowl for 4 out of the last 5 seasons, now 5 out of 6. Second, many fans think Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's relationship has been overexposed in the news. This is still true. Both of these factors may be causing fan fatigue. Third, many people feel the NFL officiating gives the Chiefs favorable treatment. I did not remember this being an argument back then. Not really. And if that is a contributing factor, and certainly it is, it has definitely ramped up this season as the Twitterverse is in full frenzy. The 49ers, who are 10th in the most hated poll, will face the Chiefs in the Super Bowl on Sunday, February 11th. Yeah, guys, so all of these wild numbers that the Kansas City Chiefs are putting up as far as ratings are concerned, the most watched Super Bowl in NFL history, the most watched AFC Championship game in NFL history, having an AFC Championship game where they hit 57.4 million views. All of this is not because the Kansas City Chiefs are America's team, as I have seen sort of suggested and thrown about. Whether or not that is in jest or not, certainly sometimes it is, but I don't think it always is. The Kansas City Chiefs are drawing these numbers because people want to see them lose. The Kansas City Chiefs are drawing these numbers because everyone is rooting against them. You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That was Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. The Kansas City Chiefs have gotten to their Harvey Dent stage. The Kansas City Chiefs are now the villains. And guys, the confusing part is when you really sit back and you look at it, Bill Belichick was easy to hate. Bill Belichick, I like him because I kind of like the crotchety attitude people. I thought that he was funny because of how angry he would get, and I liked that. It's easy to hate it, though. I understand people that look at Bill Belichick and say, oh, that guy, I don't want to see that crotchety old man win. Andy Reid's not that. Andy Reid's not that. How can anyone hate Andy Reid? Tom Brady always yelling at people. Tom Brady always kind of snippy. Tom Brady kind of pissy. Tom Brady with the whole pretty boy thing. Tom Brady with the whole dating supermodel thing. Tom Brady with the whole addicted to plastic surgery late thing. Tom Brady with the whole announcer's voice thing. Tom Brady with the whole perfect teeth thing. Tom Brady through the whole long hair saga. I mean, Patrick Mahomes don't have none of that. Then you had Gronkowski, who anyone that's ever read a book kind of hates. Travis Kelce's not quite that bad. I'm not going to go into personal stories. I've met Travis Kelce. Very nice man. I will leave it there. I won't tell you where Travis Kelce parks when he's in public. But that aside, I don't know who on the Kansas City Chiefs, in light of Tyreek Hill's departure, is particularly unlikable. I really don't. I could go through so many names on the Patriots that were I just couldn't stand them, and I don't know how anyone liked them. And then you had the phase of the Patriots where they were trying to buy Super Bowls, which is part of the game, right? You sign Randy Moss, you start picking up veteran defensive players that you know are going to sign for cheap because they want an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. The Chiefs haven't done that basically at all. The only real acquisitions the Chiefs ever make, they're trading for, meaning they have to give something up, Hopkins, or they're kind of guys that don't really play a whole lot. Justin Watson, They signed Justin Watson. You're going to hate the Kansas City Chiefs because of Justin Watson? The only thing that makes the Kansas City Chiefs hateable is their success. To a man, the Kansas City Chiefs are more likable than ever were the New England Patriots. Even, I'm a big fan of having bad guys in professional sports. So the Randy Moss thing, first off, I loved to watch Randy Moss play. Second, I didn't understand the whole Joe Buck, that's disgusting because he faux mooned the Packers crowd. Who cares? Third, gave us one of the all-timer one-liners in sports history, straight cash, homie. I liked Randy Moss. Not everybody did. I understand how so many people would hate Randy Moss. Tell me what it is. Is it Chris Jones? The man who laughed at his own 40-yard dash because he was flapping about out there? The guy who took a dive on his own 40-yard dash? The guy who, think about this, admittedly took a dive at the end of his 40-yard dash where he was attempting to make millions more in dollars. Why? Because he had a wardrobe malfunction, and he says, quote, there was kids watching, end quote. You hate that guy? Who do you hate? Trey Smith, the most pure, old school offensive guard we've had in the NFL for decades now? Who do you hate? Joe Thuney? The guy just grabs his lunch pail and goes to work. Who do you hate? Xavier Worthy? Who do you hate? Who does America hate? They just hate the success. Everyone is hate watching the Kansas City Chiefs, and we have a couple of weeks until we are likely to get the second consecutive most highly rated Super Bowl in NFL history. That's all I have for this one, guys. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not designing, the Chiefs are the only thing that I talk about on the channel, dropping multiple videos every single week, and I hope to have you back for the next one.